Welcome back to In Their Boots. With us now is this week's expert, Mrs. Barabara Lau. She's one of the founders and the executive director of CAUSE, Comfort for America's Uniformed Services. Barbara, thanks for being a part of the show today, and welcome to In Their Boots.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we wouldn't miss it. I think you're the expert on this. To get right into it, what is so relevant about young volunteers being in the arena that we're discussing with injured vets?
Well, they're peers. I mean, for the most part, very few years separate them. So they share interests and they bring a very different dynamic to the volunteer experience in terms of interaction if they were interacting with a volunteer my age, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now I understand you just opened a library in San Diego recently, similar to the one in Maryland there. Can you talk about how you go about getting young people involved with this?
We typically work through schools and through churches. At the library that we run at Walter Reed, we work with two local schools, the Bullis School in St. Albans. We also have the Washington Youth Choir that's going to be singing at our fundraising gala on Veterans Day, and that's an after-school program for inner city youth in Washington, D.C. In Balboa, at the Naval Base in Balboa Park in San Diego, we work with the San Diego High School of Science and Technology. Okay. We have several of their students. We also have educators and librarians from that school as well. Okay. In San Antonio, our liaison down there sent out a letter to a couple of churches, and within less than 2 weeks, she had over 30 volunteers. So it's really not hard. I think teenagers, like most of us, are hungry for something meaningful to do, something that makes a difference, something where they are taken seriously.
Yeah. What do you feel someone should be prepared for when heading into the volunteer opportunity that we're talking about here with injured vets?
In terms of time or
I guess across the board, you know, emotions and time and what they can expect to see.
I can tell you what they won't expect. They won't expect to have a wonderfully good time, and they will. I think some of our volunteers come into it with some sense of noblesse oblige. Oh, I'm going to help the poor wounded soldier. And it turns out not to be that way at all. It just turns to be wonderfully fulfilling and lots of fun. Time-wise, we ask for, depending on the program, probably about 5 or 6 hours a month. And if you take a look at that, that's about 1% of your waking time. So not a very huge commitment. Of course, we do have our Uber volunteers who pay no attention time. They just keep on working till the job is done. But that's a labor of love, not of obligation.
Yeah. Who do you think benefits most in this exchange? The injured vets or the young teen volunteers?
Well, I can't speak for anybody but myself, but I will say there's no contest. Absolutely, the volunteers come out with the biggest gains. And while that's my personal opinion, I will say we have volunteers that have been volunteering with us for 2-3 years. We lose very, very few volunteers. Yeah. We lose them because of life changes. So I just think the longevity and the staying power, and we have over 200 volunteers at Walter Reed alone. Yeah. I think that feeling is pretty much universal. Yeah. I'm not a believer in selfish volunteering, that you just give and give and give and get nothing in between. If you hang in there and you last, it's because you're getting a lot in return. Yeah. And we do.
Well, Barbara, for those that have been inspired from what they saw here today and want to take action, where are some places they can go to get involved and plug into this?
Well, they could go to our website, which is www.cause-usa.org. Click on programs or click on CDL, which is the acronym we use for our digital library. There's also ways to contribute under our donate link, or you can send an email to programs@cause-usa.org. And I want to say there are other organizations as well. You can click on the Walter Reed link if our programs aren't what you're interested, there are other ways to contribute. And don't forget your local VA hospitals and the hospitals that's serving veterans that are in your communities. You don't have to go across the country to find ways to help. Though we certainly would be glad if you chose to support us.
All right. Well, Barbara, thank you for not only being here on the show with us today, but your help in telling this week's real story and for the work that you do on a regular basis.
Well, we very much appreciate you helping us tell our story.
All right, Barbara. Take care. Good luck.
Thanks.
If you want to get in contact with Barbara's organization, log on to our website, and on the Solutions tab you can find a link to Cause. And if you'd like to spread awareness about the issues that we discussed here today, use our website and the video clips there. Email these out to your local media or community groups, or even friends and family, anyone you think might benefit. Now, we're going to show you a preview from next week's Real Story, Chapter 2 of A Good Cause. Here it is.
Hi, so we're on our way to Walter Reed. We're going to go pick up the students first, the new trainings, the students that we're going to be training to take over Walter Reed.
I'm so sad about leaving. We were actually just talking about that yesterday. Me, Grace, and Ellie were just talking about like how we're feeling about leaving. It is so sad because every Saturday we're there.
I just would love it so much. I'm worried about next year, what I'm gonna do without it.
We're bringing 14 new volunteers. Not all for Saturdays, but mixed in.
I think I'm confident in saying that we picked the right people.
Here on In Their Boots, we like to hear from our viewers. So if you have any suggestions or comments, log on to our website and post them there. You can also email any questions you have to question@intheirboots.com, and we'll try to answer them on upcoming webcast. Thanks for being a part of the show today, and we'll see you back here next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, take care.
I've never been to Germany. This is my first time.
I've never either. I've been near it, never in it.
Yeah, same with me.
Well, we're going to open the new branch of the Digital Entertainment Library that we have at Walter Reed Army Medical Center and Brook Army Medical Center.
Yay, we're in Germany! Yay!
We're on our way to the hospital today. We just finished breakfast.
It's our first day, and yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
We're in the room, it's like the TV game room. These are DVDs that we processed and alphabetized and all that stuff, and it goes all the way to Z.
So on behalf of myself, the MTD, the tens of thousands of soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines that are going to be coming through here for the next, hopefully not too long, but as long as we have soldiers in harm's way, this will be here, and your contributions and your commitment will not be forgotten in support of the warriors that we care for here. So thank you very much.
Ms. Law?
Next, of course, are the girls. The girls have been volunteering with us for over 2 years now. They started when they were too young to even drive. Their parents drove them every weekend.
And it's great to know that those are the kind of people who are taking care of them. Yeah. You know, those are the kind of people who, because they're all great people.